Okay, we're on. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We have all the hours covered, I'm pretty sure. Monday, Mr. Mufara came on the roundtable, and as you know or will know, the pages of Unpassive are changing. We're running into new chapter of the launch, and everybody asks when is the launch. The launch is going on now. It's not one big event. It's this is a very large company now. It's not a baby company. It's very large, and there's processes of launching. We are all very fortunate to be founding members of a unicorn company before it's even born. Monday Ash broke down a lot of things that are very, very important. So myself and Red and a few other people took notes and we did updates. And then it was requested by Papua New Guinea, which is a very good idea, to come here and try to break it down for you. So we'll get going. We're on a live stream. We're on 20 different YouTube channels. And I'm going to turn it over to Red. Red has about 40 minutes. He's going to go over it and he has to leave. But we'll be here to answer questions as long as we can. Some of the tech guys might have to leave. So the quicker we get through this, the better we can answer questions. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Red first.
Thanks very much, Marty DeGamo. Welcome and hello to everyone in PNG. Great to see you. Can you just make sure that everyone is muted? That will help a lot. And then I can crack on. This is the recap then of the roundtable that was held on the 9th of May 2022. Really was a very good recap. It gave us the best timelines and information that I've had the privilege of being on as far as a webinar is concerned, as where we are in the launching process. So it really is important that you guys understand what was said. You're going to be so excited about what was said there and where we are. It really was amazing. So let's get started then. So Ash came on and the first thing that he said is that we have now got a new replicated website for onpassive.com. In your back office on link number 51, this is the one that has your link in, and that is going to be the new onpassive.com website, but it's only going to be there for a very short period of time, guys. This is all part of the process of what he had in mind and what he told us was going to happen, that this website is going to be changing on a daily basis at the end of the line. This has been changed actually a week earlier than he said. The next one he hopes will be there within 2 weeks. It might be earlier, and then every week, and then twice a week, and then at last it will be every single day, and our links will be attached to those replicated websites. He's also pointed out as well that there is a careers website now that is being done and advertised in-house, and that is careers.onpassive.com. Have a look at that, because that really does show you how good these websites really are now. So go over in your back office to link 51, have a look at it. You will not be disappointed. He then said that we all knew about the May the 28th campaign that was going to be kicking off on May the 28th. One of the very key players of this event, his mother is critically ill condition, and we're having to postpone that event for the 28th to probably later on in the year, maybe September. This isn't going to affect anything to do with the launching process or where we are. It's just a marketing campaign that we had earmarked for the 28th. What we're going to do now is switch things around a little bit, and something else will be put in its place. Might not be the 28th, but it's going to be around that time. Okay, so don't worry about what it was. He didn't have to say anything at all, because we wouldn't have noticed, but it was great for him to let us know. Now, in regards to the Burj Khalifa, many of you have been asking, well, is that it for Dubai? Have we finished over there? What's happening now? We've actually got the marketing campaigns, which we've paid for, running into 2023, sorry, in Dubai. What we want to continue to do is to promote. What we don't want to do is to continue promoting founders. This is not why we are running these campaigns. We're running the campaigns for brand recognition, for trust, reputations, and to get the word of OnPassive out there to the general public. This is going to be the next phase. We might see maybe one more of the founders on the Burj Khalifa, which will be coming up, but the next phase is definitely in place now. And after that, you won't see the founders position anywhere at all, not on any campaigns and not any advertising for it whatsoever. So what does this mean in reality? It means that we are very, very close to the end of the founders position, and you'll find out a little bit more about this in this recap. He went on then to talk about the upcoming campaign in India. Now, we've all heard that there was going to be a marketing campaign in India, but he has decided that we are not going to support this at the moment. There has been some founders and leaders that really haven't been behaving themselves over there. They've been charging for entry into events before the event has started and taking money off other founders, and this really is not acceptable. It's not what we're all about in OnPassive. If you remember, we only ever pay twice in OnPassive. That is, one to become a founder, and the next time we have to pay out of pocket is to activate our accounts, whatever that amount may be. So we don't pay to go to events. We don't have to pay for t-shirts, for flyers, for refreshments, for anything like this. But there has been some very unscrupulous founders in India that have been charging founders for entry. So OnPassive is completely sponsoring all of these events and this campaign. So no money is to be collected in the name of Obless, OnPassive, or anything else. It was going to be in 30 locations in India, 2 in Pakistan and 1 in Bangladesh, so a total of over 33 locations. So it was a big marketing campaign over the whole of India and the surrounding areas. And they were looking to broadcast some snippets of famous locations, i.e. Taj Mahal and all the rest of it. And refreshments are going to be provided and all these sort of things. But unfortunately, greed has got the better of some people, and so they were trying to make a bit of a return by charging founders. This is a massive no. So we're asking anybody that if you have been charged for entry, or money has been taken off you for Obless or for any of these events in India, to contact one of the leadership council, make them aware that you were charged, and we will make sure you get your money back. It's also been noted as well that Ash has spoken to the relevant people, and they have said if you do not pay your money back, then your account will be terminated. No ifs, no babies. That's it. This is not what we are, and he doesn't want anything to come from this. So that is a bit of a warning, not just to the people in India, but to everyone else as well. Do not charge anybody for anything in OnPassive, except for the 2 things that we know about, which is your founder's position and the activation of that account. Okay, we'll be doing Obless through the company very soon, and we'll have an standalone Obless website, and we'll be doing things properly all from this one site. We're not only going to be a crowdfunding platform. Everyone's obviously very excited about this. There's going to be no fees whatsoever involved in Obless. This is something the company have put there. Obviously, it goes with the whole concept of what OnPassive is about. It is a company with heart. The Obless part is completely funded. It's completely operated by the company, free of charge to anybody and everybody who is using the platform to raise money for good causes. it's our corporate responsibility, he said, to make sure that people have access for free for this. So just to reiterate, everybody in India who has paid any money, that money is going to be returned to you. And if it is not returned to you, then the people who have taken that money from these people, their positions will be terminated. We've got more compliance people now and legal teams on the payroll, and they are not going to be messing around as far as this is concerned. He was talking as well to his son Omar the other day, talking of Obless. And not only is Obless going to be there for raising money for good causes, for helping people, but Omar had a real passion for orphanages and orphans. And he's got some really, really great ideas about how he can help orphans and help them to expand their minds and bring them into a communal area. And with this in mind, this is why O Junior is going to be set up through On Passive, to give a place where kids can come and just be free to be able to explore, to be able to conjure up new ideas. At the end of the day, these guys are the future, and we want to have them there using their minds for the benefit of not only themselves On Passive, but the rest of the world. He said, there is no way that I would let my son down, and there's no way that I would let you guys down as well. He said, in regards to the Burj Khalifa, we have paid up to 2023, like I said, that's June, July time. So yes, there is a contract in place. It's a done deal, and we will be having more adverts and promotional campaigns in Dubai. So we are staying on course. Everything is being done strategically. We have a plan in place, and it's quite simply, we test, we then stabilize, and then we scale out to the next level. Why are we doing it this way? Because it builds a very stable platform. There's been many companies who have launched. There's been many companies who have gone viral and expanded exponentially out of all proportions, but they've also collapsed because they haven't had this stability in between. They haven't tested in between. And what they haven't done is scale out of that stability. They've just gone completely boom, and then it's crashed back down again. We want to have this stable platform for years to come, and this is why we are launching and doing everything the way we have strategically with this plan in mind. The new On Passive website is going to be revamped, as I said, every 2 weeks, then every week, and then at one point we're going to get to it each day. It's completely SEO compliant. This means search engine optimization. This means that we have all this information to see which websites work and all the rest of it. It's coded, and it is also replicated just for you. We are going to treat you like royalty and like partners, he went on to say. And I think we outgrew the old network and MLM mentality a long time ago. What we are expecting of you as founders is not about me and my team mentality. It really is about us, about On Passive, about what we collectively can do, not only for the company, but everyone else around this. We should treat it as it is a unicorn company. Not in a million years did he expect we would be involved as founders in a company of this magnitude for $97. At any point, he went on to say that if people are not happy with the process, if people can't wait, then that $97 is available and it will be given back to you with a kiss, not a problem. And in fact, he went on to say, we'll actually put a little bit on top and make it $100 so you go away happy. We expect part of this is for the founders to behave accordingly. This means we want you to turn up when you are meant to turn up. If you can, be respectful, look clean and tidy, have a business mentality, not a lackadaisical attitude as far as this business is concerned. The whole world is now looking not only at OnPassive, but us as founders. We are going to be such a small proportion of the whole of OnPassive. And this is why he wants us as founders to behave accordingly. We will do all the work. We are ethical, we are legal, we are global, but we want to reflect everything that we do, not only as a company, but also through you as a founder. And we like to have good characters as founders. He said, my son is 8 years old, and I want him in 12 years time, when he is 20, to look back and think OnPassive has made this world a better place today because of what has happened. Nobody can stop us, he said. Everything is already a done deal. He said that by Friday, we are going to give you the exact launch day and completion of our very, very first data center. This is a big deal, and I'm sure the tech guys here will go into more depth about why it is such a big deal. We've already been multi-testing all of the other data centers around the globe, and we've been doing this since November of last year. About 7 times since November, they have tested all of these multi-regions. This is going to give us such an edge within the online market space, because there is very, very few companies out there that have this technology available on a global scale. We've also been working on the Own Founders admin and cPanel. That's your back office, that template on the left-hand side of the menu bar. That is your cPanel. And everything's gone fine with that. And very shortly, you will see a new cPanel and feel to your Own Founders back office. Why is this important? Because it is part of the replication of what is going to happen with the OnPassive when we go live. We are the guinea pigs in Founders. That is the website that we are using now. That is going to be very similar to the onpassive.com website that everyone else will be using. So we'll be starting this rollout in one country and then expanding out of that when the rest of them come online. Now, this one data center that he was talking about can accommodate up to 1 billion people running multiple applications or products all at the same time. So let's say one person is using 20 products all at the same time, all within the OnPassive platform. 1 billion people can do that all at the same time, and it won't even blink. This is massive, massive data usage, okay, of people using that bandwidth just from this one data center. If one data center can host everything that we are doing, just imagine when we have multiple sites, how that is going to scale out. Now, another important thing to remember is that at the moment we are paying AWS services, which is Amazon, to host not only onpassive.com, but also the GoFounders website and all of the other websites that we have now within, OnPassive. It means that when that data center goes live, we can move away from AWS services. And I can tell you, we are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month to AWS services for the privilege of using their services. So it gives us another idea of how much the running costs are going to be for OnPassive. It's all part of the process. So we don't just go the extra mile, we go all the way because we are OnPassive. He talked a little bit about innovation labs. Now, we already know that the innovation labs are only for physical products. They are not for the digital products and services of our ecosystem. They are already done, and this is completely separate. These are for physical products. We've already have 2 demo type products that have been successfully tested and passed. The engineers make the demo products, we test them so that they can then go on to the next stage, which is the prototype. Sometimes we have to test it and run it for quite a long time, maybe up to 6 months, not only to get the approval from us, but from not necessarily from everyone else. Said once we have that stage, we then have to protect it and go through the legalities and the patenting and all the rest of it, so nobody else can steal our ideas. To be precise about only these two products, and there's more coming on, by the way, one of these products will change the planet. He went on to say that 8 billion people on the planet right now will have a reason to use this product. So we are talking about the level of like the light bulb and Edison and Ford and the Wright brothers and all of these amazing inventors. He is talking about one of our products that will have the same effect on the planet as these things did as well. So the innovation labs are already done. We'll have multiple labs, different locations. Okay, he doesn't really need to disclose where they are because it's immaterial, to be honest. But suffice to say, we will have multiple labs in multiple locations. So everything really is happening simultaneously. We'll have got the labs in place, the data centers, the rollout into our next phase with the founder's position finishing. And this train really has already left the station. He went on to talk a little bit about Elon Musk and his respect for him and how he really likes him as a guy with his ethics of helping the world and also with his business mind. He reminds, well, he never said this, but I'm saying this, and many people have, they've seem to be very similar characters. They think outside the box. They don't do the normal way of thinking as far as business is concerned. And I think this is why they have a lot of respect. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, again, this is me saying this and nobody else, that they actually don't know each other already. Elon Musk is trying to reach a point where they can have sustainable energy from solar and wind that can produce up to 0.1 terabyte, which is 100 gigawatts per hour of energy. I have zero idea how much that is, but it sounds a lot, so it probably isn't a lot. And he expects to have this by 2030 to 2040. Now, if Elon Musk finds out what we are doing with our products, Ash Mufareh said, if we are at a dinner table, it will be Elon Musk who will be serving us, because that's how far advanced we are going to be with our products. And if Elon Musk finds out about it, he is certainly going to look at what we are doing. So they're working on all of this at the moment in the background. So really is good news. So he wanted to give us an example about on passive of how we have come forward over the last 3.5 years. So he said, think about on passive 2-3 years ago, we were like a coffee shop where I asked people to come into the to the coffee shop for $97 and you'll get some of those profits. But now we're not a coffee shop. We are the size of Amazon. Now we just use Amazon in the concept of size of how big we are now. But we still only have to pay $97 to be part of this massive Amazon coffee shop. We are founders of a unicorn company for $97. We're about to put this founder's position to sleep, he said. On passive has delivered and over delivered what we promised, plus a lot more. What he first set out back in the day of 2018 is nothing like what we have right now. The digital products of the ecosystem have no connection with this next phase. He said he does have the right to decide whether to include them in this next stage or not, because at the end of the day, that's not what we signed up for, was it? We signed up for a completely automated, hands-free digital marketing platform that is all done for us. We didn't sign up for physical products and services. We didn't sign up for data centers or any of this. Do I have to desire to share it with the other founders? Yeah, he has. But make no mistake, he says, I can share the love with anybody I want and with whoever I want. So think about this for a minute. We are over 1 million people now. And after the first year, just imagine if we had 2 million people in on passive. That makes us 50% of the company. Now, what happens if we grow at 10 million per year? After 10 years, we are going to be 100 million. Now, remember, this is very conservative. You are going to be 1% of the company as a founder. How you are going to get paid by On Passive you will get paid by On Passive after On Passive has taken out all the costs. Okay, so the products, innovations, creations, employees, global leads expenses, new ideas, and the rest of it. Once we know how much that is, the rest of it is going to go to the founders, and this is for the ecosystem and everything else. He will prioritize the leftovers like this. Your timestamp of when you joined is very, very important. So those that came in first, the timestamp, and then it'll be going first, second, third. So the people who joined in July of 2018, they're first, and then so on after that. Everything is going to be designed and worked out and coded mathematically. Okay, he's even going to hire, which we've been told before, 12 mathematicians that are going to work it all out to make sure that it's doable and sustainable. This is going to be done coded so that everything is done automatically behind the scenes. Yes, there is going to be other factors that come into it, but the main ethos of it is all going to be done by the company with the time and date stamp of when you are joined. Now, there is going to be also other trusted leaders, okay, that will get extras, people who do YouTubes, people who do videos, people who turn up like you guys who have On Passive at their heart. We know about you. We can track your actions online and what you do by coming to these webinars. You will be rewarded for being true founders. We know who these people are, but the main payment system will be worked out by mathematicians. It will be coded to your time and date stamp, and everybody will get their fair share, which was promised to them when they first joined. For all the non-founders that are listening, he went on to say, okay, and we do have a lot of people who still, I know it's hard to believe, that do diss On Passive, that do say nasty things about us or don't believe us. Do not worry. You can take all this. You are only a bug on our back. We have people in place within our legal departments that will, in time, shut you down. Remember, guys, we are the mass of On Passive. These are such a few people that are making a little bit of a buck on the back of our success. Now, the points that I've mentioned and the comments on the webinars and YouTubes, they are very important. So it is important for you as a founder to engage, to come to webinars, to like stuff, make a comment, tell people that they're doing a good job. All this is part of being a good On Passivian. He also said that he's looking to have 2 or 3 more live events in the States before we have the next big event, which is going to be mid-June. But keep in mind, okay, that these might change and it really doesn't matter. He actually went on and say to reiterate about the coding of the system that doesn't differentiate about how that system picks who is paid or not. Everything is done automatically. It's not a question of him liking somebody more than somebody else. He said that everything is going to be done coded. Everything is going to be done in a fair manner so that everybody, every founder is going to be successful. And he hoped he made that clear so that if anyone was listening, they understood exactly. So once we get all the right figures, we will know what that price is going to be. He's then going to have a meeting with selected leaders to talk about it, and then us as founders will find out about it. He also went on to say that he does not want any money left in the on-passive account. Everything wants to be paid out to us as founders. Now, what we do with that money is entirely up to ourselves. Okay, we can leave it in our own wallets if we want to. We can withdraw it to wherever we want to. That is our choice. But from the company, once that money has been paid, okay, he doesn't want anything left in his own accounts. He then went on to mention Chris Johnson about what a fantastic job he's doing with Bless. He said he really is turning into the on-passive Mother Teresa. Now, I'm sure Chris will love me for saying that because it makes him cringe a little bit. He also went on to say that he was sure that even without on-passive, Chris Johnson would still be doing all of the humanitarian stuff that he is looking to do with on-passive. On-passive has given him the platform to do what he does in a much more global environment, but he knows that Chris would always have that kind heart that he has had since day one. So just to reiterate, guys, and to recap, we have on Friday, by Friday, the date completion of that data center. We have 2 or 3 more events coming up very shortly. Obviously, the founder's position is closing very, very shortly. And also, why does that mean something? Because he actually said when that founder's position finishes, we are then going to start selling. Selling means money for us as founders. It is not long away now, guys. We are so close. So that's it for me. That's the recap that I've got. I'm now going to hand it back over to, who am I handing it over to? I have no idea. But that's it for me. Thanks very much. I'm going to slide off now. I've got a doctor's appointment to shoot off to. If you're still here when I get back, I'll pop back on. Okay, bye for now.
Red, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you. David popped in. I'm glad David could make it. I sent him all the information. David, we can turn it back over to you. Any questions people have? Listen, we have the tech guys here, and they have very limited time, and they were going to talk about the data center and stuff like that, if that's okay with you guys, and the importance of it, okay? All right,
Sure,
Lynn.
Marty.
All right, good. Lynn, take it away.
All right. Well, we're going to begin with Oliver Fonte because he has limited time today. So let's let Oliver Fonte take the floor. Go ahead, Oliver.
Good evening, good night, PNG. Nice being here with you people, my brothers and sisters. It's good update read. That was wonderful. I can see my sister Comfort is here. I can see Chris Johnson. Hey, Maddie, bro. Collins and Vincent. Yeah, our data center. This is huge. This is huge. This is a big thing that the CEO has done to us. Just imagine that companies pay $1 million, $2 million, $30 million a month, a year to host their data, because data is, as Maddie always said, is money. It's trillions and trillions of dollars. And we have to make sure that where our data resides or where our data stays is secured. And for our CEO to say we are going to have multi-regional or multi-region data center. This means that wherever you are on this planet Earth, when you log in, it will pick the nearest location where that data center is and log you in with the speed, with the fastest speed that you can think about. Just imagine what is going on with our old founder. When you log in the OTP number, that OTP number that comes out, or the code that comes to your email, it's like lightning. Why that? Because we do have the technology that we use, or that they use, that on-passive, our CEO has put in place in our data center, like fiber optic cables. These are cables that the speed, the brightness of whatever thing we want to use, the data that we want to use, is is perfect. The IPv4 and IPv6, which is hybrid, and our data center are also hybrid. What does that mean? It means that we have our data center and the cloud. Immediately, it move from the data center to the cloud. In case of anything, if you can bomb this building where the other data center is today, the other data center picks up that you will not even realize that anything has ever happened. If they shut this one down, this one pick it automatically. Nobody will work as if we don't know that anything has happened. This is also huge for us. And then he also talked about that the multiple application, that more than 1 billion people or 1 million people can use our data center simultaneously without any crash, without anything that is going to happen. This is also huge. Tell me who is not going to use our data center, from banks to insurance company, all companies. The users that are going to come to us are going to enjoy our data center. And one other thing that I know that we are going to make good money there also is that cost effective. I know the way our CEO thinks. You know, he's going to like cut down the price of most of our customers that are going to come in. Even for us, the founders, is huge for us. It's a big thing. It's a big thing for us that we should realize that we don't have any dependent. What do I mean by dependent? Is that we will not depend to other data centers. We will not depend on domain account. I don't want to go there because we are talking about our data center, and our data that are going to be stored in our premise, you know, is also huge. It's also huge because the cost that we were supposed to pay other like AWS that store. Remember last year, only the Go founder, our CEO paid $150,000 a month. Then if it's now that we have many applications under O founders or Catmo, can you imagine how much we are going to pay AWS? And they can mess us up at any time. But now we have control. We have control over our data. We have control over our data. We decide what is going to happen in our data center. That is also huge for us. And then we have our tech that are going to be working there, testing it, make sure that everything is in place in those multiple locations. And he said it's also going to be in multiple regions, continents and regions. When you immediately log in, it pick your location, bam, you are there. One data center shut down, the other data center picks it up without us realizing that anything has happened, you know. And the security that is also going to be there is going to be wonderful. All those data are going to be secured. It's going to be secure that nobody can even penetrate us, because we do have fiber optics. That's one of our main weapon that we have, an advantage that we have over most other data center, because the other data center, they do have it also, but they don't have the ones that we have, like fiber optic cable that goes to their technology, to their system. Our servers are one of the best of the best. I don't know the nature of the server, but when I look at the other technology that plug into our server, like 5G, fiber optic cables, IPv4 and IPv6, these are, in fact, those servers are going to be the best of the best. I will leave it there, Antiline. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oliver. I think you highlighted some of the strengths of having our own data center, which would include more control, high security, and the fact that we have a superior hybrid data center that is AI embedded, including fiber optic cables, best servers, 5G and IPv4 and IPv6. Thank you so much for explaining those basics. Next, we have Collins Mana, who would like to speak. You can take the floor now, Collins. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Just once more, greet everyone again. Thank you, Maddie, for inviting us. And well done, Oliver. You just blow us with the data center. And we already know data is very, very important when it comes to our data. You know, data is money, as Martin Gamo always said. Data is money. And if someone mess up with your data, it's just like your heartbeat. And why data center is important? You know, when I look back, before we even heard the name OnPassive is building data center, I had this discussion with Oliver. So looking at our ecosystem, the way the development was going, we are looking at all those products, Connect, we're looking at Academy. And I said to Oliver, if we don't have a data center, we are in deep mess. You know, at that time, we didn't even know if OnPassive or Ash Mufara, our CEO, is thinking of building one, or there was already one in the pipeline. But I just said, if we don't have it, because we know the amount of money most tech companies are paying, it's not cheap. It's millions and millions of US dollars they're paying for a data center. You know, you can use AWS data center, or you can go to Microsoft Azure. It's still a lot. You know, you cannot escape it. And we know how major companies are suffering just because you want to host your data in a data center, in cloud, and all of these things. So after 1 month, our CEO came out and said, we have a data center. I said, this is it. And at that time, I said, you know what? I wish we don't even launch now. I was just praying. I said, please, just keep it. Don't launch, because if not, they will milk us out. You know, the way data center works, it's just like your heart, as Brother Oliver said. The more you get, the more they charge you. The more data you store in the data center, the more the company who owns the data center will charge you. They can just get up one day and say, give me 1 billion. You don't want it, they just shut you down. You know, it is so easy. It's just like someone hold your meter, you know, the meter of your house, supply electricity, and they can just call you and say, you know what, provider, we're not giving you anything again, off. And you just freeze and die. That's how data center is. And for a company like us, OnPassive, this huge, gigantic company, data center is a no-brainer. There is no way you can do without data center. And our CEO is so smart. He knows we need to have everything in-house. And we're talking about multi-region. I think Brother Vincent will even explain that, why multi-region is important. But you know, multi-region is about connectivity. The closer you are to the data center, the more faster you can. It's just single click, you are already in. The moment you type, you're already in. And remember, it is built by AI, driven by AI, automated, everything. And Brother Oliver just talk about IPv5, IPv4, IPv6, all of those internet protocols, because you know you need to connect, you know, fiber optic, all of those security, they are all inbuilt. But I will leave that for a data center. I want to touch one area our CEO said. You know, he said something about innovation lab. You know, it's just like taking us more. Last week it was innovation lab, and I was like, my goodness, what was he really thinking? Innovation lab is also massive because it is there for longevity. When we talk about innovation lab, we're talking about innovation lab that, you know, the best of the best scientists, you know, those with brains will sit. It's a physical lab where they will sit to produce, to think and brainstorm, you know, new innovation that will come out. So the CEO can think about something and say, you know what, call them and say, I want to do this. I want to develop this. I want you guys to brainstorm. And as Red Reference said, it will take months and months. They will build it, build prototype like sample, test it, you know, test it and make sure it works. And then look at the market trend and say, is it feasible for the market? And when they say, yeah, they will push it out for mass production. And remember, it's a long-term thing. For a company to have sustainability, you must have an innovation lab. Because that is where the work is, the groundwork, those people who can sit. And like last time in one of the webinar, those people who can sit and say, I want my phone, my mobile phone to fly. They will never tell you it's not possible. They'll tell you it is possible. We can do it. Those people with can-do attitude, they know one day they can sit and say, you know, we will build a machine that will, you know, you can put on your back and fly. Maybe plane will not exist again and you can fly on your own. Maybe I can fly from here to US. And they'll tell you it's possible. You know, things that are impossible are always possible. Like the way our CEO think out of the box. That is how it is. These people are the people that always think. They think out of the box. They see before it even happens. And they sit in that lab. And our CEO said, we will have many. It's already there. And they said, what? They have already built 2 prototypes. They've already tested, as Brother Reference said. That is huge. huge, massive. And honestly, we are in a good position. For those who are unperseverant and you are not happy when you hear about data center or you hear about innovation lab, you need to still wake up. Because with that, the amount of revenue that will come into unpassive is mind-blowing. Because think about it. It's coming to help the 1%. 1%. These are all things that the CEO is putting together. What else the CEO will surprise us again? Maybe something again we've not heard. But this is technology in the 21st century. Because there is no way you can escape it. As I always said in most of the webinar, I said, if you don't follow the trend of technology, you will leave behind. No, you are on your own. The world will leave you because the world now is digital. And if you refuse to follow the trend, then you are on your own. So I will leave it there. Just thank you, Madi, for inviting us. And thank you.
Thank you, Collins. We appreciate you. It was interesting to hear about the data center advantages as well as the innovation labs, which are coming up, which will enable us to have long-term sustainability. That was very exciting. Next, we have Vincent Ete, who's going to be talking about data center multi-regions. You can take the floor now, Vincent. Are you there, Vincent?
Sorry. Yeah. I was meeting. Hi, yeah, thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Linz, and thanks, Marty, to invite us to this wonderful webinar. Thanks, David. Thanks, all the PNG leaders as well. So today I'll talk about the data center, the advantage of having our data center. First of all, having that my brother Oliver said, and Collins also said it, I will just added few information, mostly based to the database hosting in our data center. So the data center help us also to store our information, and then also for security reason, like my brother Oliver said, also protect our data, because hosting our information to someone like we are using now Amazon data center, AWS, they can steal some of our information. So privacy, all this thing. So having our own data center is protecting our information. So no one can have access to our key information, and then our information are secure and protected in our own environment. And also the advantage of that, we have also scalability of our data, and then also reliability of our data. Let's say we have a multiple data center in different regions of the world. So if we are in North America, you connect to our system to the region where you are close to. So once you do that, we have a better performance, we have a better reliability and a better replication. So the data, once anything you do with the database, you get a reply back quickly as possible, and then everything, the performance is done also properly. Everything is smoothly as the business continuity. So this is the importance of having the data center geolocalization. So we have the data center in everywhere in the world. So if anything happened to our system, anywhere you are connected. If you travel, for instance, from maybe UK to Japan, you arrive in Japan, you can connect to the data center close to Japan. If you are in UK, you can close to the data center. If you are in PNG, there, you can also close to the data center. Maybe it could be Australia or New Zealand. You connect to the data center close to area, and then you get the better performance, the better connectivity. It can allow you to do your job without any issue, any interaction. So this is the importance and the use of the data center. That's why we have a geolocalization. So it could be anywhere. We will have data center anywhere in the world. We don't have any issues. So anything happen to the one we have, the other data center can replicate immediately without anything affecting. So for the database, when we create a database in the data center, the database can replicate it to all the region in the world. If we have like 5 regions in the world, the database you create maybe in the UK North, you will replicate it to all over in the world. So if you are in the North America, you can connect to the database. And the same time, anytime we do a backup, you're trying to have a copy of the database, the database also, the copy will be everywhere in all the region in the world. So if it happen that something happened, we can still have our data, and the data will be there. You can have it all the time. So this is the importance of having the data center, and then the database replicated to everywhere in our data center. So if Antylin is using right now, the replication will be quick, and then all the information will be replicated to other data centers. So if one is down, the same information could be anywhere, and then you can have it and do your job. And then we have also better security, better performance, better reliability. So everything is smoothly and working fine. So this is the advantage of having the data center in multiple regions and then in a multiple area in the world. So thank you, Antylin. I will leave it there.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vincent. Vincent just highlighted to us the advantages of having our own data center and about multi-region. So again, the data center is going to protect our company's data. It enables scalability, greater reliability, superior performance, and safe replication of our data. So now I want to take it back to David Bakal. Is this the appropriate time for questions and answers? David?
Yes, thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Collins. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you for always coming up, joining us here and giving us the information. We are being upgraded in our knowledge. I'll say in this case, because with OnPassive, joining OnPassive and being a founder has really improved our knowledge in the tech world. I'd say that, and a lot of us are beginning to understand technology stuff because of what you guys are putting out there and what other founders, other leaders are putting there, and we are getting into the YouTube channel and reading and listening to a lot of the information that's coming out. So thank you so much. And I'd like our Papua New Guinean founders who are here, please, this is your time. We are so privileged to have them again to come here in our meeting. It's a special meeting that's being hosted here. So please, I'd like you to ask questions and help us get up to speed, especially our team leaders. Please ask the questions so that you can be able to translate back to your team members. Thank you. I think I have Mr. Lakamanga Anol. Your hand is up, and then followed by Mary Carroll.
David, thank you. Thank you, global leaders that are here with us this evening to give us a rundown on what the CEO has stated in the last roundtable meeting. Firstly, there are two things that I would like to mention. One is about branding, which I will speak after I have said something about the data center. I work with an institution that is regulating the mining industry in Papua New Guinea. We manage the exploration and mining tenements in the country, and we have a database system, a tenements management system that is hosted through cloud. It is coming from Sydney, but the company that manages this is based in South Africa. So we use this cloud system to manage our system, and there's a company officer living in Sydney that administers and constantly liaises with us to manage our tenement management system. I just want to say that we are using a data center of someone that is managing our systems here in Papua New Guinea. And it cost us almost $100,000 to rent that space. That would be about 300 to 400,000 kina every year. So when we ask them to do something extra to managing it, then we pay extra on top of the general maintenance costs. So that is maybe something that I would like to share with our PNG founders who are listening on how a data center is used. Just make you understand that the companies in South Africa, but actually we're using the data center based in Sydney. To my understanding, when the data center is up and running for OnPassive, right now OnPassive is just spending money. We're spending money on marketing, we're spending money on employees, we're spending money on the offices, establishment of the offices. When data center is up and running, the first one, when it is launched, I guess that is the first time OnPassive will start making money, if I'm correct, because there are companies out there that would be leasing the space on the OnPassive database, OnPassive data center. So that is something maybe very interesting, and we should be excited. Maybe the tech people can elaborate more on that. The second thing I would like to mention is branding. We have not seen much of branding happening here in PNG, though we've heard about what branding is and what advertising is. I would like to give an analogy. In PNG, we call it top pizza. We had a leader. He's passed away. The late Michael Somalia, our founding prime minister. He was the member for ECP, the province that I come from, and many of the founders who are here. They have been saying that during his reign as the prime minister, he never brought in much development to the province. But for some reasons, every time the election comes, we vote this person into parliament. Now, people might be wondering, why have CPICs been voting in Michael Somare as the member for ECP, when there has been little seen in terms of development in his province? The fact of the matter is that the name Michael Somare is a brand name. Despite what he does, doesn't matter to us CPICs, or didn't matter to us CPICs. We had always voted him back into parliament. That is, to me, a good example of branding. So Somare has branded himself. The name Michael Somare has branded himself. Irrespective of what he does, it doesn't matter. When election comes, we always vote Michael Somare into parliament. And maybe that is an easier way for us Papuans to understand what branding is than just advertising. I think those are the 2 points that I was hoping to mention here. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnold. On his first question, can one of the tech guys respond to him on that?
Yeah, I can add, and then maybe Vincent will bring something about the data center. Yes, Arnold is right, because when you talk about we having our own and looking at the money most companies are paying out there to AWS and maybe Azure, Microsoft, it's very, very massive. And we have to remember that when we have our own data center and the money we are paying to Amazon is still a lot, So when we have our own data center now and we are in our own house, one, we will save our money because we will not be paying anything anymore to anyone. That is saving. And then secondly, if our CEO deemed necessary, people will come and host on our data center. And remember, our CEO is not driven by money like other companies. So what will happen? We have better quality for moderate price. A lot of companies will come in because they will want to save money as well. They'll look at, why should I pay 1 point something million here or 3 million here? And sometimes anything you want to do, any add-on, they ask you to pay more. They will decide to come to OnPassive because our CEO has the heart of humanity. He is not driven by money. He knows he wants to save the world. Better quality, better performance, and fair price, moderate price. Where do you think they will go? All of them will jump onto unpassive. And the more they come, the more we expand because it's scalable, as I said, it's infinite. Our data center is unlimited, multi-region, cloud host. They will come in their numbers because everybody wants to save money. Nobody wants to spend. They want to get good quality for fair price. And in short, unpassive is a game changer. Hey, Vincent, want to add something to that?
Oh, thank you, colleagues. I think you answer almost all this question. So our data center, first of all, like we know, is a high speed, like our CEO said, is a high speed, and then redundancy, zero redundancy. So, and then better performance. We have all the technology, and then we have artificial intelligence embedded around our data center. So we have all the better performance in the world, or the latest technology behind our data center. We have IPv6, so we have all the power, and then also the data center is the latest or CPU of around all the data center. So we have the better security, better performance, high speed or technology behind our data center. So because of that, most of the company would like to send their data to be hosted in our data center. So, and then our cloud will be envied by the whole world because most people would like to be in our business because the data center outside there, like my brother Colin said, is very expensive. But even that is very expensive, they don't have the high quality we have compared to the other competitors in the world. We will have the better performance, we have the better quality, we have the better security, and then in top of that, we have artificial intelligence added to all these technologies. So overall, we are the best of the best. So again, the price, our price, if you want to host to other company in the world, we will give also the best price. So this is one thing, the key that most of companies would like to be in our data center because in terms of technology, we will be the best in the world. And then in the security also will be there because most people go to the data center for the cost, for the security, and also for scalability, performance, and also maybe availability also of the system. We have all this. And then in top of that, our data center will cost less. So if you want to host your business, which one you will go? You go for the best technology. And then the second thing you're looking for the cost. And then the third thing will come, this is security. So all the data center, everything you need to have the best of the best is among our data center. So, and then also without that, we have also our data will be also working in the whole world. We have every region of the world, we have a data center there. So anywhere, if you are in PNG, we can have a data center close to your region, like Sydney or maybe New Zealand. So if you're hosting your business close to you, you will have a better performance rather than going to maybe Europe or maybe North America to have your information also in there. But close to you, you have a better performance. And then it's close to your region. So this is the reason why our data center will be like hot cake in the market.
Thank you, Vincent and Collins. You know, they just to put it all together, both of them talked about the fact that our data center is going to be high quality and yet lower pricing, right? Multi-region, AI embedded. We will have the latest technology, including IPv6, better security and performance, scalability, and better reliability. And what all of these things equate to is value. And that is what Unpassive is about, offering the highest value to the world, which means the world will come to Unpassive. Unpassive will not have to search because customers will come to us to host their data on our superior data center. So thank you very much, Oliver and Vincent, for explaining that. Back to you, David.
David, I want to add one
Thank you,
thing.
Lynn.
I want to add one thing. You know, we talk about the data center, and yes, other companies will come and want to be hosted on on passive data center. Why? To save money. But to remember this, in one of the biggest companies in the world is Amazon. More than half of their revenue comes from the data center.
Wow.
So just think about what could happen just with the data center part of revenue coming into on passive. It could mean a lot because every company wants to save money on their bottom line, right? If it's 10%, 20%, 30, and you got companies spending $1 million a month and they could save a couple 100,000, you don't think they would do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's another product really that we're not even really looking at. So it's pretty awesome.
It's mind-boggling. Okay, we have Mary Caro and Daniel Sunny
night.
after that.
Sorry, before we go to Mary Caro, I'd like us to convert all this information into our language in Pidgin, right? This is PNG webinar. So let's get it first on let's explain it in Pidgin to our people. All right, let's break it down. This is the key here is understanding. Now, these are big languages and we want this language, we want this information to be spoken in our language so that our simple people will get it. Our people coming here, we have teams and we have people, we have founders who know nothing about this thing and they're questioning, they're coming here on this platform. I want us to break it down in Pidgin, please. Leaders, do it in Pidgin. That's the reason why we have PNG Founders Roundtable, is to bring all this information. The key is understanding. If our people do not get it, if we do not understand it, then we will be everywhere. Like one thing that Mr. Redfern said today is this. Mr. Ash wants everybody to come to the place of understanding. We must understand this thing, okay? So I want you, Mr. Bakau and Mr. Daniel Sunny, please break it down. Give them just a brief overview of what what Redfern has shared and what the tech team has said. Tell us in Pidgin to our people. Thank you. Before we can go to the further questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. But let's take Mary and Daniel come in and then we'll explain everything. We'll come back and we'll sum it up and put it into Pidgin and clarify everything. We can't, if we go one by one now, we'll drag on. So let Mary ask a question, Daniel can come in and then we will explain the whole thing from red downwards to our 4 tech guys here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bakau. Good evening to you. Good evening, Lynn, Chris Johnson, Marty DeGamo, our tech teams, and all the on-passive members from Papua New Guinea. Very good evening to you all. I have 2 things. One is something that Vincent spoke about that prompted me, and that is regarding the database that is going to be established in various regions. Now, currently in Papua New Guinea, our data service providers maybe are the worst in the world, I could say that. Every time we buy enough data to attend webinars or to listen to YouTube or anything to do with on-passive, we're going through 2 minutes out, 5 minutes out. Sometimes we're invited to come on the panel, but we're embarrassed that we might be kicked out. So we decline and just sit in as attendees. So would it be fair to say that when on-passive has its data centers close to our regions, we can go directly to them and bypass our current providers?
Do you want me? I can answer that question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So what we are saying here, what you are saying, is two different things. You know, data center is hosting all your data like information, you know, your date of birth, everything. But when you talk about the data you are talking about is the internet.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
so it's the internet provider.
Yes.
So the internet provider is not really great in PNG, but when we talk about data center, it's about our personal information, your name, say username, first name, last name, your bank account, all of those things, your pet, all
Yes.
those things, you know, it's being hosted in a server, and the server is hosted in a data in a data center. So data center is like the whole thing holding all those information. But the data you are talking about is internet.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, and which is weak. So that's the two different things which they need to improve on that, so you can have a better services, so you can have that better connectivity.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, my second point was on Oh Bless. Currently, we have a group from our region. Now, Papua New Guinea has 22 provinces, and our region, southern region, is made up of 7. So we got one of our regions, Central Province, and our groups got together and we decided to organize ourselves by creating our structure before Oh Bless comes online and is launched. So at this point in time, we don't have the proper guidelines, obviously, but we've just prepared ourselves, if you like, for what is to come. And we're doing it for our region in anticipation of inviting our founders from these provinces who will know their areas better than some of us. So we've created this organization not to come away or compete or divide ourselves from the other provinces or from our main PNG on passive body, but it is purely in anticipation of preparing ourselves for what is to come. So I would like to know from Chris Johnson or Marty Digamo if we've done the wrong thing or if we're on the right track. Please give us that advice.
Mary, you are on the right track. As you heard previously from Monday, Ash said that he will be putting all that out soon. But what you're doing is excellent. No diversity whatsoever anywhere. The greatest thing about Oh Bless, especially in Papua New Guinea, you have a lot of people in different areas far apart. Each individual can be responsible or show responsibility of doing a project. Runa's Airport. We have Veronica and those guys looking at properties to build facilities. Whatever Mary's is, whatever Bob, Judy, Carol, Emin, David, whatever you guys want to do, start planning it right now. When Ash puts all this in place, the guidelines, we'll start rolling on it once we launch the world. But you're on the right track.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. We have Mary's okay now?
Thank you
You're
very
right,
much,
Mary?
Mr. Bakau. Yes, thank you.
Is Daniel there? Daniel, your hand was up?
Yes, I'm here. Okay, I have a question for Chris, but I will come back to that later on. David, if it's okay with you, I just give my brief observation in Pidgin to like Nancy said.
Sure,
all right?
Sure, go ahead.
And then we can go from there.
Sorry, he was
All right.
replying to me. That's why. Yeah.
Okay. All Papua New Guinea. All Papua New Guinea, you will hire me stop. All leaders, all group leaders, and team leaders of Mipla Papua New Guinea, please hire him good. This pla full man only se come up all OTEC Pro, yeah. OTEC Pro. Name blongolem Oliver Fonte, M do USA. Na Colin Mana, M do UK. Na Vincent Ete, em kam no UK, na Bob Takushi, em no USA. All this la fopla maya. All in all no legal man, all big plus man Thomas. Only got around 90 or 100 years experience, divided namel fopla mania. Now only come story here. So something me like you black is in here emulsem. Only talk lo data center ya. Data center and help me long or better connections now. But you got a multi-region. Also only give me example of what must be Papua New Guinea and Australia by stop kind of same. Now one plus something only touch him too low data center. Now me like me Papua New Guinea must think him emulsem. It's a data center. I give him big value ya. Big value long you me Papua New Guineans. Now founders all got to have the ground ya. Now by got big money too by come to this road the data center. So I'm something me like you be thing in this la so business you mean inside lem on passive ya. Mati Degamo I'm come to David na David Kitchen na Seri want me player. Even only something. You look at this man now you come to talk here. All big saw man Thomas. Osem na you must believe you must wait. Stop is in a lot of company and making work plan. So and this little side blow tech yeah. All for plan engineer yeah. But something me like you can think him and red film story long end. Something I'm also Dubai, yeah, all this advertising blow me. And by stop, so advertising by continue at go on year 2023. Advertising long on passive blow Dubai and by continue and by go yet. Now we can think in this la. Not something we can think in also. But you mean you can so she be pretty much t-shirt blow on passive now, or bless or one can something. You work in some and design or cap or something, but you know not blow salim, like is man lo this la. I'm ready to talk strong on this la. All right, you may not can make money long name blow company. And big plus something you must think in this la. Now, one plus something and boss mania CEO Aisman Farah. Any behind go to plan now work and make him. I mean, no shortcut and make him something straight. Now, you must let him company and make him work plan. Now, you must start barely see now waiting company. Now, Kaka and come up. Now, but you can look him. Why now you come inside? Plenty people founder, you come inside long this la business on passive. You will not come because you understand the business. No cut. Plenty people you come inside because you trust him or DW who said a family member only sharing business now. You trust him more now you come inside now. You know clear good law business. Also now you come local meeting also but you understand good law business now you can believe now you can stop. Now walk about land. This is what you walk about land. So in big plus something company make him over something and make him straight. You must share in business. And red family come up neck long CEO Bosmania and I talk. You know can think him you yet also me. No God. You must work one time. Work one time and try to help on man. So I'm more sample point and read and touch him line. Good play me can think him. Then by me can put in some little telegram group. Now by black and look him. To read him talk some bike some send his back office. Blow him because on passive I'm upgrade him on passive now. Also me play all information you will come down. So website by Senis now you can keep up no good at this la company and making work stop. So in this la not something read and touch long and story long place ground you got 10 billion man stop. Now really like you see more internet yeah. So you can think him how back come inside using product long on passive. So this la too. And we can give him barely you mean stop. This is $97 you mean throw me $97 you mean throw me and come inside long on passive. This is I'm really something to mass. Company now giving big value to mass you mean looking plan this something and make him and we create him or create him innovation lab and we create him data center. Now time company have loans. MSME talk yeah. From day one time you pay him activation fee below you. The next day account blue stop green. Many blame also by looking money best stop wallet blue. So and we got this last thing to help him all the time on the place ground. So say now please why make this last thing you must talk so long old man. Not blow something too awesome. I'm found a position and close. And now I'm time to start sales now. But you start to sell something now. Now you selling something and you are money and start coming inside now. So I'm something please. You can think him. You can continue. You got the question is stop. I think Ben we can ask him again long. Chris Johnson. Okay, I think that's all I have. Thank you very much. That's in Pidgin. I would really appreciate all the tech team and Lynn, Mati Digamo, and Red is already left. Thank you very much for coming here. But if it's okay with you, David, I can continue with my questions.
Sure. Go ahead with your questions, and then we have Vavine.
Okay.
I will give
All
a
right.
rundown to sum up most of what has been said and explain a little bit on scalability. What is scalability in the economic sense? So at least I'll translate into Pidgin and then we can understand from our perspective. Thank you. Go ahead, Daniel.
Okay, so can I go? Okay, all right. Chris Johnson, while you are here, with the same flow with what Mary has said, my question is, we have the brand name Obless and we have the brand name Unpassive. Now, are we allowed to register a legal entity in Papua New Guinea using those names? Can you give a response on that?
As far as registering a group or something that you're organizing, Daniel?
Yes, but using the name Obless, like example Obless PNG or Unpassive Nation PNG, are we allowed to register them as a legal entity in this country?
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe you can if Marty wants to jump on that. As long as you're not collecting funds right now for a profit, I think it's okay. Marty, correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so, but listen, I will, let me ask Ash Mufara. I believe it's okay, but you guys want to do the right thing. So let me ask him exactly what you just said, and I'll get back to David or you, Daniel.
Okay, good one. Yeah, because why I'm responding to that, because in one of the posts for Michael Williams in our back office, Michael Williams said there is a plan in place for Obless, and we should allow the company to proceed with its plans. And in my opinion, I think it's Chris Johnson has been given the task to manage Obless, not only in where he is, his location, but in a global scale. So that's why I need confirmation on that. I don't want founders going ahead and registering Obless Foundation in Papua New Guinea, and it might have a conflict with the global Obless arrangement. That's why I'm coming to you.
Yeah, no, it's better to be safe than sorry. I'll double check. I think it'll be fine, but no, let's do it right so you don't hear anything later. Yeah, no problem. I can find out from him. He's traveling right now, so it might be a day or so, but I will find out.
Thank you. All right, my final question is, some founders in Papua New Guinea are still experiencing, even they've been active founders, but from time there's some situation where the access code are not coming through. They tried a couple of times. I was trying to help a founder, but I still cannot get access code through his email. So what is the best thing to do? I did one to the back of support to ask them to whitelist that email, and they did it, but some founders are still trying their best to get it done.
Okay, well, here's what I want you to do. Anybody you have in Papua New Guinea that has a problem getting the one-time passcode, send it to me. But I need to know. There's two things. If it's an older account, like it just happened, and it's an older account, I need to know that old account. Here's the email. If it's somebody trying to register and they're not getting it, I need to know this is a new account, this is a registration, and they're not getting it. Just give me the two differences, and I will get that fixed for you. Just send it to my unpassivenation@gmail.com.
All right, thank you very much. I think, David, that's about it. That's all I got to say. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. We have Wavine. Wavine, go ahead and ask your question, and then we'll have Nancy.
Thank you, everyone, for this opportunity to speak. My question is to the tech team in regards to the O-Staff or the O-Desk application. I am from the same team with Mary Caro, who spoke earlier on, and we are in the process of structuring our the districts that we have and the local level governments that come under them. my issue with that is because all of us during this COVID season, we've been all over the place. So just having to do the onboarding for having that option to have workers come and do the like admin or payroll or the human resource team and getting them to be in the same system. My question is it possible to do that remotely from different centers, maybe from different countries or different provinces? Because not all of us are in the same center or the city or the country. So is it possible to do that from other places? Thank you.
Yes, then I'll just come in and then Vincent can add. So you're talking about old decks and old staff, right?
Correct. I think it is the old staff application that I'm querying because obviously we will have to, if we have work, our employees, because like we've said that not everyone's going to be non-passive, but they can be workers. So in the event that we need to put together our team, our workers to carry out the admin work, if you like, is it possible to access that old stuff from different places?
Yes, okay.
Because we're not able to work from the same building or spot, if you like.
Correct, yeah. So you can access, because remember, old staff or whatever application we have in our ecosystem is a web-based application. So if you don't have internet, you cannot access it. So wherever you are, you can access it. And remember, every product is a standalone product. You don't have to be an on-Pacifian to use the product, provided you are paying. Because remember, it is there and you have to pay. You have to pay subscription. Most company, for instance, the company I work for, we use Bright HR. We didn't develop it. We bought it. We just subscribe and we are paying it year in, year out for human resource, right? So, and what happened, you can be in Australia or we have employees that are everywhere, but as long as they have the login credential to go onto the function, the area they want to go, and then they can use it. Remember, old staff is massive. Say, for instance, you have payroll department will see only payroll, provided it will depend on the admin right they will give them, because it's a massive application. But yes, you can access it everywhere as long as you pay. The only thing is OnPassive will give you that access and give the training on how you will use it. But let's wait for the final application to come out and see how massive it is. But again, it's a standalone, as our CEO said, and it is there. It wasn't built only for the 1.3 million. Remember, we have 5.5 billion users in the internet space, and there are used corporations that will come in to use some of these products. They will pay for it. They don't want to be even a reseller or just want to be customers, just to use the application and pay and go. So yes, you can access it as long as you pay. You can access it anywhere you are, as long as you're given the right of access.
Sure. So as a non-passive, and I will still pay for that application with my employees.
As an on-Pacifian, you will not pay because you have the right to use it. You're paying. You already know you're paying. If Matthew will correct this if I'm wrong, because you already pay your subscription, right? So it's already your product you'll be using. But how you will use it for your organization, that's what that's the area I don't know. It's the gray area I don't know. Maybe Matthew will give more explanation on that. But I know customers will come and they'll pay for it based on how they'll package it for them to use. Maybe Matthew add something.
Let me, Vavine.
Yes.
You're registering, each of us, when we are signing into the back office and you are registering, you're logging into OSTAF and it's asking you to put in the name of your company. Okay. So that company, or for example, you guys are registering a foundation and you put that name of the foundation in there. Now you are in different locations, in your geographical locations. You can access it because all of you are going to have given access codes or passcodes. You will create that and you will give it to your employees or your staff, and they will access that company wherever they are. But because it's like a customer reference or customer, what do you call, resource center. So all of you are putting in data into that space. So you will be given, you will create your own passwords and access codes, and you give it to your own staff, and you put it in. It's like your company, your own company. You are running your company, and you give access to your staff, and they will put data into that company or access that stuff, information in there. So you understand what I'm saying? Because you're creating your own structure, and whoever is working in your organization, those are the staff that you will give access to, and they will access the system from wherever they are. Is that clear?
Correct. Okay. That makes sense. My other question is on the oblast. If Chris can answer that, or anyone, just going back to our 6 districts that we have in the Central Province. So these 6 districts that we have different local level governments on there. So my question is is it possible to have all 6 districts have positions, or is 1 or 2 positions is that sufficient for the 6 different districts? Because my understanding is that to be a founder, you have access to the oblast as an individual district, if you like, for this matter. If I'm going to be doing, for example, if I have a river district, for instance, they will have their own oblast application or the business as a standalone. So if in the event that anything happens in that region or the local level government or whatever in that area, we will be able to put in a ticket for the district, a campaign. So obviously it has to be approved by Chris or Mati or those guys up there. So when that happens, obviously the funding will go straight to the river district and its people and its local level government and the wards and whatever. So if we only have, currently we do have few, I think it's less than 3 founder positions that we have, but we have 7 districts. So my question is it possible at all to have the 6 districts and have them managed outside from different locations? Or is 3 that we have currently is sufficient for the 6 districts and 15 other local level governments and their different villages? That's my question. Thank you.
Let me try to answer that. To initiate a blessing, that's what I want to call it, you would need to be a founder. People that pay into it, people that want to donate money or whatever, I don't think they need to be a founder. Now they might have to put their email in and all that, but to initiate one, that's the benefit of being a founder. You can start a cause. You can go for drilling water. You can go for building a boat. But in fact, I was listening to PNG, how they were setting up the backside of Oblast in the country. I don't know the mechanics of it because it isn't fully launched yet, but I believe once it goes, you can have any cause you want, as long as it's legit, but you also want to make sure, in fact, all the places I've been, Papua New Guinea went after the legal part of it, make sure somebody's watching after it. But I think the mechanics of it, we have to wait a little bit longer just so we understand, because anybody could go in and say, I want to start a cause of helping Marty Garmo, okay, and collect all kinds of money. So I think we got to find out the mechanics. How do you start it, and how is it run? We know all the money goes to the cause, but we don't know the mechanics of how do you start one. I don't know that yet, and I don't know how people come in and donate. I'm not 100% sure, but those answers are coming in weeks, not months. And when they do, I think it'll be clear. Some of these questions won't even be asked because you go, oh, okay, I understand now. I don't want to say something I'm not 100% sure. So I think it's better just to wait. But I believe I'm going to find out about what Daniel said, what name you could put, but I also believe that one of the biggest impacts, the quickest impact in the world of seeing what Oblast can do will be Papua New Guinea, without a doubt. And it might be many different things, but I mean, Ash said it himself. The country's not real big, but you have a lot of people in your country that are part of Unpassive in comparison. And you have a lot of people, stepbrothers and sisters all over the world that want to help Papua New Guinea. So I think you'll see things change very, very quickly in Papua New Guinea, and it'll be the poster child for the rest of the world, which is a good thing. But the mechanics, I don't know 100%, so I would wait. I don't want to say anything because I'm not 100% sure. I hope that makes sense.
Mati, I'll just add in here. Okay, Papua New Guinea, you must clear. You must clear. Okay, time. Vavine, you're talking about the structures. Okay, we don't want to take over the government's role. Remember that.
Sure.
We are only here to at least step in and help where help is needed. We don't want to duplicate or take over the role and they'll see us as trying to take over their roles. No, we are here basically to help where the community has a need. And that's how you're structuring it. So when you structure things, look at that avenue also, the legal side of it. So that's why Mati, let me explain. Let's wait a bit. You can have the plans in place. Just wait him likely time to solna. Time Oblast or policy guidelines will come outside now. You may can look in one map by you fit in. One map by you fit in, you can go ahead now. Create him all courses play in a put him on platform and then you may can run one time this last so one help he come go straight lo this la place where we need him in minos and by you come take over lo work lo government services in the long country no you may stop lo strong in work na support him to solve one map and we got needs straight. Okay, and is that okay? Yeah?
Thank you. Just to clarify, just to clarify my point, obviously, Unpassive and Oblast is coming in as a third-party donor. So we will not be, my intention is not to take over what the government's role is. But some of the things we know and we've learned from experience in the past with our local villages and things like that, they're not fully funded by the government. Sometimes we're short of it. So not many of the projects get carried out. So that's when the third party comes in, which is our role, if you like, Oblast. So that's where I'm coming in from, not to take over the role of the government or anything like that. So those shortfalls are where we will come in. So that's where I'm trying to get my point across as a third-party donations. Thank you.
Thank you, Vavine. Okay, let's move on. And Nancy, you have your hand raised up there. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello to everyone. Good evening to everyone, and good morning to the world. I have just one question, maybe one or two questions. But before I go to the question, I just want to add a little bit about what Red Redpen said in Pidgin to our PNG founders. Okay, online beli mi. Arim Redpen itu tu harim finish tu disla recordingnya. Blo recap blo Redpen yet na Mr. Ash Mufara CEO beli mi tu tok you harim finish lo English. Or something I'm clear. One plus something where Redpen mentioned him can CEO him tok lo masam you must connect, you must engage because company may look manusia. Time you connect, time you attend webinar, time you talk, you contribute him idea, blow you think, blow you. Company record him, na look save lo disla na staff. And you me talk lo data center ya. And all something is recorded. Time you go inside lo back office, blow you and recorded. So only save or some you active founder, or you passive founder, or you Slack founder, or you sleepy founder. When I can founder, you come up. Company is save. Company no I pass. All same na. Time you harim Redpen talk I talk all company by rewarding by got some like I look savvy na reward long all founders where only active only make him YouTube long all Oli tok long on passive, oli share on passive, oli come up on them all updates. That's why I'm very important to some now. I want to say thank you to Mati for bringing this webinar to us. We have a weekly midweek webinar, so you can understand him. You can understand him when him something CEO he talk when him all big major launches he come up, or something he come up like Dubai. Yeah, what has happened in Dubai? When we have midweek webinar like this, time break it down in our language in Salo talk pisin. So you all get can understand. One means something me like talk long memol sem. You na me usai online we only no active lari mall. But you usai you active. You must remain there. Because CEO I'm got in Salo ting blong. I'm like reward him online. I'm like looking more sem you serious for this business. Now you got hacked. Now you mean business one time this business, huh? So pay attention to this kind of click or something, because time something he come up, you know can talk, oh na me, hey now no consider me, no look save lo me no got. System ya you me save, me work one them artificial intelligence. Or sem na AI ya, and by recording more get something. You make it seem long. Okay, thank you, PNG. My question is to Mr. Mati Digamo, and it is this. Mr. Ash Mufara in previous webinars mentioned that the marketing campaign is going to go for 16 months. Now, with all that is happening, what do you see? What is your perspective on that 16-month period? Is it reducing, or is it going to be more, or is it still on the 16-month length of the marketing campaign?
Okay, here's what I believe. The 16-month one is what we saw in Dubai. That will go on and on and on, and they'll change different. They're going to start switching over to obviously products soon. Founder positions will be shut down. That's one campaign. I believe there will be many. It's only going to increase from here. It's only going to go up. You're going to see magazines, you're going to see television, you're going to see newspapers, you're going to see all around the world. On the 20 in the middle of June, another major event is coming. It will have something to do with marketing and advertising. See, let me explain. What's being done in Dubai is more of a marketing branding. In other words, we're introducing the name of the company to people because they don't know who we are. And then you're trying to build a relationship with future customers. So I'll give you an example. 20,000 people taking pictures of the Burj Khalifa with Unpassive written on the side. They're there to see the light show, maybe consciously not really looking at Unpassive. But now they bring these pictures home and figure 20,000 show it to 10 people each. So now you're up to 200,000. Now this happens every week, every day. People go to Dubai and they go home. They go to Dubai and they go home. You start this viral effect. More and more people. Now somebody at home looks at it and says, wow, that's amazing. And then they go, what's Unpassive? Once you start that question, what is Unpassive? You are branding the name. And that goes on and on. And because Ash Mufara understands this, he's branding. So the day we open to the world and they say Unpassive is open, people will be flocking to come in to see what we have. It's a great concept. If you brand, you win, right? Here's the other one. He gave an example. Apple. Huge company, $1 trillion company. If they decide to make a TV, are people going to buy it? Absolutely. Why? Because they're already branded. They know they are the best at what they do. So if they make a TV, it must be the best. So what you're seeing in Dubai is the branding part of it and the viral part. What you're going to see in the next weeks months and years, Nancy. It's only going to increase. We haven't seen nothing yet. Nothing. Trust me. 10% if we're lucky. So that now they're going to get into products and what they do and how you can get them. And then next thing you know, they open it up and people start buying things. Then we start making some apples or whatever. That's how this works. He's taking his time. People look at it and say, I don't get it. Nothing's really happening. But the fact is, many hundreds and hundreds of people are joining every day, 1,000 to be exact, just from what happened in Dubai. And it's spreading across the world. Why? You know who's walking around Dubai? Large CEOs of big companies, directors, big business people from all around the world, because that's where they go. That's where they vacation. And they're watching this passive shoot up the Burj Khalifa, and they're going, what company is doing this? They know it's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. And they go look it up, and it's passive. Passive is echoing through the world right now, big time. Big time. Ash did not do anything small. This is huge. The one that he was going to do on the 28th has only been done one time before by Mercedes-Benz. I don't know what it was, but it was huge. Now, the person involved's mother is real bad sick, so that's going to be postponed maybe until September, but it's not stopped. Everything we see is only the beginning. He said, I'm going to compound marketing. So he doesn't start one market, it ends and he starts a new one. He starts one, packs another one on top, puts another one on top of that one, another one on top of that one. So one day, maybe, my opinion, you have 3 million people signing up daily. The company could grow into something we have no imagination. I'm telling you, we don't know. But just think about, we have no competition. Why do I say that? If you go on and you say, I want to give you a Zoom type product, unlimited, for a couple $100. The Zoom we're on right now, 10 grand a month, $10,000 a month. You can have the whole package of Unpassive for us as founders, maybe 300 or less, one time. Rest of it comes out of our pocket. There is no competition. Everything Ash makes is unlimited, and you can scale it to the top. And when people see that, do you really have to sell it? No, you have to sell the name. The products will sell themselves, guaranteed, because everybody wants a good deal. So what does Ash talk about? He never talks about money, ever. He talks about value. Value and branding and marketing equal money. So you don't need to say it. You don't need to say the money. It's coming, maybe more than we could imagine. But because he's analyzing everything he does, as we look at it, we say, I don't understand why he's doing it. Of course we don't. It's never been done before. Never. Most companies don't reach the peak of Unpassive before it even launched. Most companies are not billion-dollar companies, most. And we'll be a multi-billion-dollar company the day we launch, only to grow and grow and grow and grow. One day we could be less than 1% of the company. So just wrap your head around that. But we have to go with the process and see how it works. He knows better. His company knows better. I marketed for 15 years, and he's blowing me away. I'm lost. When I was trying to guess where he was going, I thought we would be in Dubai in 5 years. If we were lucky, we're in Dubai now. And he didn't rent a floor in the Burj Khalifa, he bought them. Do you know what it means to go to a company and they say, where are you located? In the Burj Khalifa, no address. That's all you have to say. To a big company, that's all you have to say. And they go, you've got to be kidding, right? They may not be saying that out loud, And inside they're going, oh, these people don't play. It answers all the questions to other companies. Where are you located? The Burj Khalifa. Boom, that's it. That is the address. You don't have to say Dubai. You don't have to say. Everybody in big business knows it. And that's what we're part of. And I know I answered your question and maybe 50 other questions you didn't ask, but marketing is going on, Nancy. What we see so far, which is massive, is just a little bit of where we're going. It'll never end. It'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. And he has 100 different ways that I know of for different ways of advertising and marketing. We haven't seen nothing yet. So I hope that answers your question.
Powerful. It's very clear. Thank you, Marty. Now, one question to the tech guys. Now that we're going to have our data center going live, what does that mean? Can you explain it to us, please? Thank you.
Vincent, do you want to take it?
Yeah, I'll take this. Okay, yeah, thank you, Police. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Nancy, for this question. So having a data center for our company, we have a lot of advantages. First of all, is costing. So we're going to save money from having our data center. This is the first thing we'll go for. Secondly, for security reason, because no one will also our information. So it's like we have your money box, and then you give to your neighbor to put in his house. I'll break it down this way so you can understand. So your money box being in your neighbor house, anything can happen. If he need money or is desperate, he can go and have it. And then he can find out anything. If you have jewelry, anything in that box, the person can have it. They say, oh, I know Nancy have this is in that box. But having your own house, you think is more secure for you. So this is the second advantage of having our data center. The third thing is scalability, and then redundancy, availability. So all this is the advantages we're having to have our data center. So this is, and then also in terms also for our business, we have also geolocalization. It will be everywhere in the world as well. And then in top of that, we have the latest technologies behind our data center, where other competitors or other companies in the world, they don't have that. So we're better off than other people, and then we'll be better performance. Anything we do, it will come quickly, just like that. Just we click and then just you get the information. So this is almost most of the information we have from our data center, the benefits of our data center, having our own data center. So it's security, performance, cost, because the most important thing we need to think is the cost. It will cost us less money now because hiring other people is a lot of money. So this is costing, security, performance, and then reliability and availability. We have all this. And also on top, the technology behind, we have the latest technology among the other technologies in the world.
Yeah, let me add something before Collins goes on.
Mm-hmm.
From a non-techie person.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like you're renting a home and you don't own the land,
mm-hmm.
or you put money in a bank. You own the bank when you have a data center. You own the land, you own everything. You have a say. Right now, any of you go online, you go to Google, you go somewhere, you put your name, your email, they can sell that information. When we say data, your name and your email is data. Data is money. When we get our own house, we're not renting from anybody. We own the internet. We own the internet. We're not answering to anybody. If something said and they didn't like Ash or they didn't like Unpassive, AWS could shut us down. I'm not saying they would, but they have that control. When you own the bank and you create the money and you are the bank, hey, lights out, right? I mean, there's nothing. We could do what we want, say what we want, work with each other. You know the data is safe. When I put my name and email in, where's it at? It's stored in my bank that we own. It's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal. And the other thing is, like he said, you can scale it. And what will happen is the bank will become the bank of many companies. It will support many, many companies. And every time they come and they put in their money, let's just use an easy number, $100, and Ash decides to pay the people 50%. And listen, I don't know what it is, but all of this is data, and data is money. I know when people hear data, they're thinking, what the heck is that? Data is everything we do. Anytime you write on the internet, you type a word, that's data. That data is going somewhere. But when you get on passive and you close that door, we own the whole block. We're not renting from anybody. You look outside, I see houses across the street. I don't know, the neighbor owns them. We own the whole block. We will own the city of Unpassive. Really, it's powerful, powerful, powerful. All right, I'm done.
Maddy, I just said, let me just add, Maddy, you've just said it, or you just take it from my mouth. Like as you said, a lot of people really, they don't really know what data is. You know, like now we are in Zoom, all of us here, right? We don't know where Zoom is hosting. Maybe it's in AWS data center, Amazon Web Services, or in Microsoft Azure, right? They are paying a lot of money, and the images here, they are all data. So for each images here, you have to pay for it, and it costs millions upon millions. I think last time we were talking, I think with Maddy, we were discussing, looking at when we have O Connect, we have the same thing, pictures, upload, all of those things. So they have to store them all in the data, and this data go into data center for security. Just imagine, you know, what AWS will charge us. Maybe we can hit 2 billion users, and we're making say the time on-passive, say 5 years or 6 years, on-passive is making trillions of dollars. You know, Amazon said, no, I need 1 trillion. If you don't give me, I shut you down. That's what they do. The more money you make, the more they charge you. And you don't have control over that. Because remember, you are hosting not only that information, you're holding like the life. If say we're running as a bank, just imagine if they shut the whole banking system down. They shut the data down. People will not be able to collect their money, withdraw their money. They will not be able to do a lot of things. You know, there is nothing you can do. You are just like, you are living in a land of nowhere, you know, because all that information is hosted in the data center. And the important way Mr. Ash look at it and say, you know what, it is time for us to have our own, because there are a lot of information. Imagine if we say we want to be with Microsoft and Amazon Web Services, and people are studying online or academy, and they shut us down. What will happen? Imagine, have we think about our wallet? They shut us down, we will not be able to withdraw money from our wallet to our bank account. Those are the things we have to think, that when you think about it, and all the money we have, like physical money, but when it is in there, it is data. You know, it's just value, it's just number, just massive data. The only time you can see it as physical cash is when you go to your bank and then, you know, put your PIN, this, and then withdraw the physical paper. But when it's in there, it's just data. And they can just shut it down, and then, you know, that is the end of us. So when Ash look at it, say, no, let us have our own, so we have control of all our activity, and we believe in our security, because there you don't know how secure it is. Mm-hmm. You know, when you give some, it's like you go to a restaurant, you see a nice food on your plate, but you've never go to the kitchen to observe where your food is coming from, how clean or how dirty the kitchen is. You don't even have control over the kitchen, but you can just see what is on your table. That's how data is. We don't know what they are doing behind, if they are selling your information or not, to whoever they are selling your information. But when it is with us, we are sure, because we know where it is. We know everything, all the activity. It is secure because you have confidence, because you have it in your hands. And that is the most important thing. And it is money, because as Maddy Bigamo said, Amazon, not the Amazon side, you say the application where the marketplace. It is the data center that makes this man to be the world richest man. That is it. That is what is giving him a lot. He can shut that marketplace down and live with that data center, and he will still be one of the most wealthiest person, because it is massive. And we just have to thank God that Mr. Ash Mofara think about bringing us data center. With data center is one of the biggest deal we have in on-passive. And we know we have more coming. The data center it's just mind-blowing. So thank you, Nancy.
One more thing. I'm sorry. I just drank a lot of coffee. So keep in mind that Mr. Mufara met with AWS and they discussed certain things about data and hosting and all that. And when he left, I guess they didn't come to a good conclusion. So I believe some of the products that we're waiting for, like OConnect, like ONet, like all the ones you think, oh, where are they at? I believe there was a decision made, and I don't know this for sure, but reading the tea leaves, as they say, Ash is getting pushed forward on the data center as quick as he could, because when you go to do a big data draw like OConnect, he wants to have the data center in place first, so he doesn't have to run it. And it sounds like AWS either said, I don't know if we can do what you want us to do, or you're going to have to pay us $1 trillion a month. Something didn't go, but thank God, because that just made them push the issue of getting the data center quicker. So when it gets done, I think you'll see a lot of things fall in right behind it, because now it's secure, like Collins just said. So that's all.
Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate your answers. Very powerful. PNG. Arima, money box there. No put la house planar la man. Put la house lo you yet na you yet bagat freedom lo anytime lo kiss him. Na anytime lo make one something you la make him and by make him data center I'm all talk yeah. And was a money box yeah. Now I'm as you know putting this la money box lo nar la have and put his strength on passive house play yeah. So sleep good na relax good na amma so say more something yeah and by flow away blow me. Thank you, Mr. Bakau.
I believe he might have gotten booted out. I don't see him.
Yeah, we lost him.
We lost him. All right. Let us continue while David tries to come back. We have Emily George who would like to ask a question. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Emily.
Thank you, Lynn. And thank you very much for bringing on you and your team. I actually often listen to a lot of your webinars, and the more they come on, the easier it gets for those of us who are not so tech savvy. At least we get a gist of what is happening around here. And as Nancy said, not many of us are that completely tech people. But thanks for that. And good night to everyone, and or good morning wherever you are. Thank you for coming to our webinar tonight, especially Marty for hosting this tonight. My question was kind of answered by Marty, and it was a question that was going to go to Chris Johnson. And Chris, I often listen to your Bless webinars too, and they're really great in getting a lot of ideas from that. But I might be preempting this a little bit, but I was just going to ask you, Chris, if how you intend to implement your angel project on this Bless platform. Just to give us some ideas, as we are in the process, as Mary said and Lavina said, we are in the process of discussing projects that we hope might qualify for some support from the Bless platform.
Emily, good question. Listen, every great idea to help humanity or people or children, women, men is acceptable as far as I'm concerned. The angels list that I started, I don't know, 7 months ago, was to get people's attention and to draw people that truly want to help people out. So basically, the angels list is a compiled list of people from all over the world, of every color, every religion, every race, to show that we care and we truly want to help out. Now, Julie Wen had put a document in the back office under updates. It's a form that you fill out. Now, I think Lucy just asked me It's not an application form. What it is, put down your information. Maybe you're a social worker, a nurse, a doctor, construction worker, a house builder. This gives us an idea of people and what they can do and the ability to get these people in certain areas or the areas we need, especially for like social workers or building houses. So basically, it's not an application. It's a list of all the people that are truly want to be angels that have certain skills that can help people out in this world. But Emily, as far as Papua New Guinea goes, and the one young lady, Miss Benny, said about the regions and stuff like that, the more you all communicate with each other, all right, and that's kind of what that list is doing. We're communicating with each other. It closes a lot of gaps, all right? But if you guys simply talk to each other, plan all your ideas out, and then discuss it with each other, you know, do a phone call or a private Zoom as maybe this is what you want to do. Maybe it works in region 1, but not in region 7. But if you guys just start planning it legally, you know, under your government's regulations or whatever, we don't want to step on any toes like that. But if you guys communicate privately of what you really want to be fixed, each region might be different. So the more you communicate, Emily, not just through Papua New Guinea, but through the world, because you better believe I got a slew of angels that's going to be heading toward Papua New Guinea with all kind of skills to help out where it's needed. But honestly, I think Papua New Guinea is probably the most talented country I've been to, because you seem to have many talented people that's truly going to change Papua New Guinea, not just through a bless, but for the individuals. So Emily, I hope that kind of answers your question. If not, ask me another one.
Thanks, it does, Chris. And I saw Julie's, what is it, the page that you put in the back. I didn't really understand that you had to have some kind of special skills. I actually put my name down because I just wanted to know a lot more about it. So so I might have made a mistake there.
No, Emily,
you can disregard my name.
No. Emily, your skill is you got a heart and you got a care for helping. That's a skill. We're just trying to mold where there, you know, there's doctors, but you, like me, normal people, we got hearts and we care about people. I want everyone to put their name on that list. Maybe all you got to say is, I will help anywhere I'm needed, because that's what I did. I'm not a social worker or a doctor. My goodness, I'm a retired auto worker. You asked me to put a tire on a car, not a problem. You asked me to paint a car, not a problem. But if you ask me to help change the world, I can do anything anyone asks me to do. So Emily, please keep your name on that list and also pass it around to P&G. Just want to see everyone on there to show the world that we really, really are going to do this. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
All right. We have, thank you, Emily. We have next Karen George. Come on down, Karen.
Thanks, Lynn. Good night, everyone. Good morning. My question is surrounding the O-Tracker product, the O-Tracker. And it's directed to maybe the tech team or any of the leaders. Okay, I work in the bank and I manage the bank's assets. And I was looking for a product that would assist me to track the bank's assets, especially when we send them out through each of the branches that we have here in PNG. So I was going through the O-Tracker, the features of the O-Tracker, and I noticed that it only had the URL and the IP addresses. So my question is, does O-Tracker have the ability to track assets? And if not, is there going to be a product, or can on passive maybe create a product that would assist its customers to track assets? Thank you. That's my question.
Marty, Collins, or Vincent want to take that?
Before they come on, Karen, just clarify, when you're saying assets, what do you mean by that?
Thank you. Okay, the bank has a lot of office machinery assets like F-Force machines, ATMs, and we have a lot of receipts, note counters, you know, all these we call assets. So we have about 42 to 45 branches in PNG. And when we dispatch these assets to each of the branches, especially the F-Force terminals, when we dispatch this to the terminals, we send them to a particular branch, and then when the branches utilize these F-Force devices or ATMs to, you know, allocate them to the merchants, it's very hard for us to track. Although we know the number of F-Force terminals or ATMs we've dispatched to that particular branch, but to track where each of those devices went through, it's so difficult for us to do that. So I'm asking if OTracker has the ability to track those kind of assets. Thank you.
Okay, I will start first, and Matthew or Collins can add later. Oh, thank you, Karen, for your question. I think OTrack is the first purpose is to track cyber criminality. So those are criminal behind the internet. So for me, OTracker, it can track all the devices around your banking or those people connected to that using OTrack, because OTrack will be used by police around the world. So internal bank issues, I think OTrack will be the best tool also to use to track criminals, or even to track all the devices connected to your bank system, those who are trying to access your system. So the OTrack will be the best tool, to my knowledge. This is because it will not be only the IP address. There is a lot of information, because it will be used for criminals. So it's a tool we will be using by most corporate in the world to track those criminals. So for a bank, it's part also for this criminal as well. So I will say yes to your questions.
Okay, thank you, Vincent. That's the what will I say? The systematic part of it. What I'm saying is the actual product itself, the actual device itself, if we have to track it. I don't think OTracker will do it, but I'm just asking.
Karen, can I ask you a question?
Possible.
Is it so that you know where that device is in location?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, well, you want to have a GPS tracker. That's what you should be looking for. That will give you its location. There's many available now. It might be something in the future that On Passive might be doing. We've already been told that internet connectivity and phone connectivity might be something in the future that On Passive will be looking at. We've been told, especially through third world countries like yourselves, Africa, etc. Ash has got a goal to connect everybody. Whether we are using a third party for this or whether we're going to do it internally, I don't know. But as far as knowing where physical devices are, which is what you're talking about, i.e. ATMs, machinery, etc. like that, then you would implement a GPS tracker into it, into its fabric, and that will give you the location. There's many magnetic ones you can buy online now, by the way, that you can use via an app to track where devices are, cars, etc. So maybe that might be for now an interim thing that your bank could use to find out where they are. As far as transactional purposes are concerned, O-Tracker, like Vincent rightly said, it is an IP address tracker. So that means every electronic device that is connected to the internet in any way, shape or form, whether it be a printer, whether it be mobile phone, whether it be laptops, anything that physically connects to the internet will have an IP address attached to that device. This is what O-Tracker tracks. So as far as you are concerned, yes, it will track transactions if they are done through that device that is attached to the internet. But as far as tracking where that device is located, yes, it will give a location ping through its IP address of where it's located. But for instance, if it got stolen, it wouldn't know where it is. So then you would need to have a GPS tracker on it to find that. I hope that helps clarify a few bits.
Yep. Thank you so much, Red.
Hey, Karen, I want to add, I put in the chat the frequently asked questions for all to do with Tracker, the O-Tracker. Now, about a year ago, well, I don't know if it's a year ago, I can't remember, I can't keep track of time, but a while ago, at least a year ago, Ash had brought up something that he was working on. It's probably done, something to do with more of a tracking type thing that you're looking at. Now, the thing is, we don't know all the products that he has. I'm talking about physical products, but he did say when we shut down the founder position, he will tell more of what he has and what's going on. The reason is, if Ash was to come on and say, here's what we're going to have, founders would come in by the tens of thousands, but they would come in for the wrong reason. So he wants to hold off, shut off the founder position, and then he's going to kind of give us ideas of stuff that are in the pipeline. But I know that a tracking thing was a big deal. He had worked on something for the military to help families and all that. So I would not be surprised if there's some kind of tracking device. And if it's in need after we get launched, he'll make it happen. No doubt about it. So.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Matthew.
Thank you, Karen. We have next Emin. Go ahead and speak, Emin. Unmute yourself.
Good night, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good night. Good night. Good night here in Papua New Guinea, and good morning wherever you are. I'm just trying to stress something about it, data center, but I will speak in Pidgin because we were trying to. It's what will I say? It's we put lots of things here, like we talk a lot here that some of our founders in PNG, they cannot digest everything here. That's why, like what Red have done earlier, we should have like go through together. Like Red can read one sentence, and then Daniel or Nancy can come on and explain it, and later like continue in that way so that our founders in Papua New Guinea can understand it. It's too much to digest. That's why, I mean, that's from my observation, but I'm just trying to speak in Pidgin, trying to explain a little bit about the data center, but later I will try connect with Winston and Colin, and they will assist me further to, like, we will try to simplify it down to the level where most of our Papua New Guinean founders can understand. Okay, all Papua New Guinea, you mean you can RM this law or something na you meeting easy lo understanding. You are RM lo English that's all stuff na you think easy lo you lo understanding. And plant is something to mas people lo kisim lo one platime. You must thing inside people na yupla. Now looking me plus 63 plus tasol attend him meeting eh. Some founders tools ta one time one time team leaders me plus start. How boy me go back and explain him lol. You mean no plan is something red fan to plan. But understanding to me. Lo obless you may class him low obless tape like Emilio class him na. This na. No website lo on passive come out in you type on passive.com you go inside you click in this disclaimer agreement you click in agree so you go in. You go down the FAQ na you look up.
Emin, you're going in and out. Emin, you may want to turn your video off because we are having a hard time understand you. Thank you.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We can hear
I have
you.
a bad network connection here now because it's foggy here from where I'm staying. Yeah, so that's why I'm probably something too much women or at the same time. So one data center, yeah, obless, like obless, you go begin long type in passive.com and you go in, you looking underneath the obless, you read them so FAQ or you open them up and you find them out. This normally to I'm asking asking as mufarelo branding as mufarelo branding lo company name na this ini protecting branding so
Sorry, man. No, you break here. You go break here. Network blue machine no clear. We plan on having you now. I go break here. Network blue don't must good plan. I know picking up good.
yeah, it's foggy here now. That's why.
Scratchy. It's very scratchy. Hard to understand, yeah.
Yes, but anyway, I think I don't know whether you are really clear or not.
You're kind of, yeah, you're unintelligible right now, Emin. Sorry, we can't understand you. So can maybe try a bit later. Maybe the connection will get better in a bit. But at this time, I see Chris Johnson has his hand raised. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Emin and Nancy, I'm going to support you 100% on the pidgin language. Unfortunately, this guy here speaks one language, but I'm going to give you a few suggestions. All right. Red Redfern does one heck of a job. As of Marty DeGarmo, give great recaps. And so what we've been doing in some areas of the world that don't necessarily speak English, we're actually giving them the write-up of that so they can read it in their country. In other words, Peter Shore puts all his notes in the back office. If one of you had the opportunity or the time to actually go through those notes or listen to what Red says and actually say it in Pidgin, it would probably help out. Because like I said, I only speak one language. But if one of you would like to try to, I know we did it with Julie in Vietnamese. We did it in French. There's ways that we can help out more and we can all help each other ourselves out. I know Nancy is a very wonderful speaker and reader, and she knows I love her. And I'm not putting this on Nancy, but Nancy, I would love if you could try to find a couple individuals, including Nancy, and maybe start going through the notes, or we've actually played a webinar like this on another Zoom, and we'll stop it. And then we'll let the interpreter explain what Red had just said, or explain what the tech guys are saying in your language. It helps all of us out. It really does. But remember, one thing I always say is we all have to take an incentive in doing something for each and everyone's business. But now we're passing information on to the world. So yeah, I take it as a responsibility. When I come to Papua New Guinea, which is my favorite webinar, all right, I want to hear you speak in Pidgin because maybe this guy can learn a few words. And I tried from Jocelyn a while back. She taught me some things, but take that into consideration, Nancy or Emin. A lot of the times the internet doesn't work great for us back and forth because we're so far away or because of the weather conditions. But if you took the initiative to read Peter Scher's notes or take Red Redford's live he did the other day and listen to it, write down what he said, listen to it, write down what he said, and then you put it into Pigeon on a YouTube or a video so that you can send out to everyone in Papua New Guinea. So we make sure everyone in Papua New Guinea understands exactly what's going on with the passive and what it is. Just my thoughts, Nancy Emmon. It's the show is yours, but any help you need, please reach out to me and I will do whatever it takes that every Papua New Guinean knows about a passive and understands it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Good suggestions, very constructive, I believe. Thank you.
Yeah, very
I
good
see
suggestion.
Yes, very good suggestions. I think David is not here again. He got booted out. So let's take it back to Marty DeGarmo. Marty? If you're there.
Yeah, I'm here. Does anybody else have any questions? Wow, that's a beautiful sound. Anyway, we could wrap it up. Oh, wait a minute. Daisy has one. Daisy, go ahead. Go ahead, David. You can take over.
Okay. Okay, Daisy, just ask your questions and I will wrap it up here. Just give a brief rundown on everything. What Iman was talking about and Chris explained. I have the notes here from Mati. I will put it up in our Telegram group and we can break it down and discuss it within the group. So we can go ahead.
Hi. All right. Good night, Papua New Guinea. And good morning, rest of the world. Well,
Hi, Daisy. It's very difficult to hear you. Could you turn your video off? We can probably hear you better. Thanks.
Okay. What about now?
It's still a bit scratchy.
Okay.
Can you?
What about now?
Much better. Much better.
Much better. Okay. Should I speak in Pidgin, David?
Go ahead, whether Pidgin or English, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay. First of all, thank you for hosting this webinar tonight. Thanks to Lynn, Marty, Chris Johnson, Collins, Oliver, Vincent, and David itself. I see Peter Huche there. Thank you very much. That's number one. Number two, I hear a lot about the data center. So from my own understanding, one talks Papua New Guineans, example of some, you have a bank account. So time you go to bank, you give him account number, blow you, lo bank teller, a bank teller and press sample number go on. I'm talking you or say, okay, you got this like kind of money inside the account to you, or kind of say, all right. So data center is a similar concept or technology. Now, with on passive, this like data and money, information is money. So that's how you benefit, yeah? Okay. So time of talk data center, it's just about, say, bank of information. Or suppose you go to one place, now time the election like I'm close to one, you miss a common role. So you go come up, you sign up line, no ask him name blue, no suppose name blue, no stop lo common role, you know vote. Suppose name blue stop lo common role, you vote. So that is a data. It's a data center. Okay, recently COVID have come and hitting Umilgeta, including Papua New Guinea. So National Department of Health plus World Health Organization too, all got data system or information or Bami putih masam. Suppose you got a book. Okay, one man come, write the name below book, phone number below you come lo one map, you walk him test positive, test negative. That's data. Okay. So all examples blow all data or information. All right. I'm just like explanation bami pigeon side. Suppose you know understanding Thomas, David and stuff and can help him you mean or understanding what all mean by data center. Okay, now in terms of the company where you may join him, we can talk or say you mean lucky lo come up member or on passive or founders, because one day, like now you're using this the Zoom and video, yeah. So I must play you mean inside the this like the PNG now you may use this video conferencing. This company called Zoom, yeah, all back say money lo this or some someone somewhere but pay more because you may using this Zoom, yeah, this video conferencing blog, yeah. Okay, so back to on passive, like right now I'm listening and like the company or company bring me on passive now. I'm trying now lo come up in this bank, yeah, come up in this bank law and by look out in all get all something say name blue you, phone number blue you, or just like kind of little information blue you facts about you as an individual. All right, so those are examples we can give him about a data center. I'm not usually vocal. I'm just there on the background, always listening to what people are saying and so forth. All right, what else? I gave some examples about the data center so my people can understand. Another thing, so plenty way by you benefit low on passive. 1 plus something. Suppose you got smartphone, the fact that you go to back office blue, just like finger blue go click, 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 click. You touch on something, you touching up something. Okay, main office blue on passive and looks awesome. Okay, they see coming to back office blame and go awesome and go check him this and that. They are monitoring us or watching you may stop here. So time lo company lo rewarding you me at when launch and the company starts to pay or reward people, you will be paid. YouTube a company looks at you activity below you. Okay, so me David and Sam me want to less me no so check him on him about natural me decide lo contribute to na game school because me listen gonna me people must me passing mouse to myself. I've been in here for like maybe almost 4 years. Na meeting was time me now lo helping David and Nancy na usa tornarpla lo trying to lo schooling Yumi Papua New Guineans because internet em no something blow Yumi and something blow white man or white man come na schooling Yumi lo internet na Yumi one way na Yumi by faith believe Yumi and strong na Yumi to okay Yumi ba supporting this like company and Yumi stop na now Yumi stop yeah because something I'm say making me hammer straight making talk you plus and me say looking bell blow ash bell cry blame mosem em like him mosem this la passing or this la poverty or like online no got kai all no got house all no got wara or no got road when Maximo go close to lo health center where mama am go lo rotate na baby blame die or am go lo rotate na am no karim picking na am die you know bell blow Asian stop lo this la kind service yana. That's why Asian look straight lo Papua New Guinea because you mean now you mean by showing straight this la bell blow Asia go lo well there. We will be like the signboard for on passive. So Entasol me like contribute now to this la forum. Nothing else. Thank you, Lynn. That's all I have to say for tonight. And my final message to all Papua New Guineans, I'll say this in Pidgin. Suppose you not been reading NDA below you, please go back to back office below you. You read him good NDA below you understand him NDA word by word. One, understanding legalities below NDA below you. Suppose you abrusi 1 plus something, you bruki 1 plus law below company, you may okata salo passing below ash, and no play. You will completely wrong here, but just give back this like $97 bill or $105 bill, sim back here, because Hash is a man of integrity. Okay, I'll say this in Pidgin. I'm telling my Papua New Guinean friends to go back to their back offices, reread our NDAs, ensure we understand the NDA word by word, ensure we know the legalities of our NDAs, and make sure we don't go out of the legal boundaries of our NDAs because we can lose our positions as founders. That's all I have to say. And thank you very much, panel, for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Daisy, for your contribution. Now let me take it back to David.
Thank you, Lynn. Okay, I think we will round up this webinar. It's been quite a long webinar. So I'll just translate in Pidgin here. Most of the stuff that we've spoken about with the summary on the roundtable meeting. Matthias sent me the written word on it, so I will post it. All you mean online belum ba mi post him desla a summary belong one of something as you been come na talk long roundtable ya ba mi post him inshallah Telegram na you mi look langam na you mi can one team leader can kiss him na you mi can explain him na break him down long all team members play me. Okay, big plus something I'm ready me talk him all members below you me all founders, please get engaged, connect find him road lo connect na no can less suppose you less you sawe company emoklong look sawe lo usai me come in na usai me spending time usai me long take part long all meeting below you me na contribute na this kind of something you must connect. Suppose you select na start behind long time only start long tanim traffic or salim all customer ikam long or side long on you might miss out because you know that activity enough long justify why all by no salim traffic am you. So this all kind something the same only look lang so me like him you me all got must connect na come up active inside of this role players and founders na work na update him yet na stop. Okay, and big plus something you must because SME come long side long technology na me bring him this company come lo yumi. Okay, and online talk scalability scalability or some you think him yumi or yumi say salim boy. Okay, yumi say beg him all boy put him lo bag na online say come buy him lo wholesale 160 kg bag yeah. Now Karim go now. All right, time you buy long bag, MOSM, you buy one price 200 kina, lo one plus bag. Okay, how much plus bitel na to boy stop inside there and plenty too much. So only buy lo bulk na Karim go na all by give lo online by retail him again, all by rouse him again, all by selling one. So time you look lo this la, SME come lo said long technology na emi give him this volume you me talk value say talk value volume time money come plenty na price go down plenty money buy him by you look him you buy kiss him you buy sell him out product you hurry up through. So this road now by you me look him on passive and me create him this volume price by go down plenty man by come inside service belong emi quality service but price down now plenty man back come inside law same time. So by looking myself, suppose you open him store na price blue down now cargo blue or some quality product you sell him inside 1 2 through this la cargo by go. So you can look at some money by you make him hurry up through. So that's how SME design him la business na emi kisim kamlo yumi yuna mi mitla joining motion founder you mitla privilege past time you meet talk long one product but now I'm talk data center ya I'm plenty all explaining pinis minona pulim story lo desla information lo ya one something you got lo personal information lo you put him inside all man by come all by put him or some warehouse all you come store him information lo desla rent up legal space ya all by buy him on passive all by him on passive now on passive by making money lo desla extra money on top lo desla so me like encourage you me take part no can sit down na slack take part na come up active inside lo desla go na talk him all team members lo you no can sleep buy him nupla phone find him phone buy him nupla phone good phone but you can hook up good na connect lo internet na stuff so thank you Okata line do email PNG thank you everyone for joining us tonight in PNG morning hours in some parts of the world afternoon somewhere in USA so thank you very much for everyone connecting with us. Thank you, Lynn. I pass it back to you. You can close it off.
Thank you. I think this was a very productive webinar. Lots of good sharing. Thank you to Red Redfern for the roundtable update. Thank you to our leaders, Marty and Chris, for being here and speaking. Thank you to the many PNG leaders who spoke very eloquently and asked very, very good questions to benefit everyone. So we look forward to the next meeting where everybody will get to learn more about OnPassive and benefit. Thank you very much, David, for hosting the meeting. So at this time, we'd like to say aloha to one another. Everyone can unmute and say goodbye until the next time we meet. Thank you.
Goodbye. Look at you.
Bye-bye, David. Bye-bye, David.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye.
Good morning.
Bye.
Good night from
Bye,
PNG.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Chris, Marty.
Thanks, Marty. Thanks,
Bye,
Chris.
Martin.
Good
You're
night.
welcome,
Good
Daniel. You're
morning,
welcome.
Colin.
Chris.
Goodbye,
Vincent.
y'all.
Bye-bye,
Bye.
Lynn.
Bye. Thank
Hey,
you.
Chris, you stay in Papua New Guinea. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for coming.